Hello, I'm Catherine and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to have you here today. I want to talk about one particular brand that I've become interested in called Undone Beauty. They are available at Ulta and also at Target and maybe some other drugstores, but those are the two main stores that I've seen them, and then of course on their own website. They basically want to offer luxury products that do more for less money. They are very proud of the design of their products and how they are multitasking. And they're also very proud of the brushes that they have created. I didn't buy any of their brushes, so I hate that I can't show you any of that. However, part of what they're talking about with brushes is applicators, and we're going to be talking about that quite a bit in this video. They offer clean, cruelty-free, and vegan products, and they are very innovative. And I love seeing people being creative in the makeup world and not only giving us interesting products and interesting formulas and interesting application, but also giving it to us at an affordable price. I think we're all looking for that, right? I have been playing around with these products quite a bit, so I'm hoping to be able to give you my thoughts and some reviews and see if that helps you in deciding what you might want to purchase from Undone Beauty. So if this sounds interesting to you, stay tuned. I didn't find a primer from this brand. For foundation, they had, I believe, 2 foundations. So I picked the Unfoundation Matte Tint. They have 16 different shades in this foundation. It is supposed to give you that barely there, softly matte tint formula, and it is easy to apply with fingers or sponge or a brush for flawless finish, light coverage, reflects light, and matte, radiant, and natural looking. It has coconut extract for added glow and tea tree oil for blemish and oil control. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this with my Anissa Beauty foundation brush. I am in the shade Pink Petal Light. So let's go ahead and apply this. So I'll bring you in so you can see. This is definitely a light coverage. You can still see my sunspots and everything. It has evened me out. It is definitely a soft matte. Does not feel drying at all. In fact, because of the tea tree oil, I feel like it's very cooling on my skin, but I think you can see that it's just evened me out. I really like the feel of this. It's very different, and I haven't been able to pinpoint exactly what it is that I like the most about it because it's not giving me the most coverage, but it feels very, very nice on the skin. And I don't need something for blemish control or oil control because I'm normal to dry. However, this just works really well, and it has a nice lasting power too. Again, feels very nice. I'm liking this foundation a lot. It has a very different texture. It's almost cream to powder. When it goes on your skin, it feels very powdery, almost like a powder foundation. No tack at all. Very pretty, very pretty. The next product I want to talk about is their concealer. This is the Conceal to Reveal 3-in-1 Coverage Palette. And I'll show you up close what it looks like. You can see there's kind of 3 different sections here. So starting from the top, you have the sheerest formula, then you have the medium, then you have the opaque, the most coverage. So really interesting. We're going to see that in a lot of their products. So this is a very common theme in a lot of their products. So this is very unique. I'm going to go into a little bit of the opaque shade at the bottom for my under eye concealer. And I'm just taking this Delium brush and I'm gonna just tap very lightly because you can see, wowza, very pigmented. I'm actually gonna flip the brush to the other side to blend, but a lot of pigment. And I'm gonna use this on the lids as well today. I didn't see a primer brush. I definitely picked up too much product for this side, but I wanted you to see what the opaque is like. So you can see one side concealed and the other side not concealed. So I'm gonna go in with less on it, just a little touch of the opaque in this side. That's better. You can see how creasy this has become because I put way too much. That was user error. This side looks so much better because I applied it correctly. Very interesting product, but boy, you can really go crazy. The opaque is crazy. I maybe should have gone with the medium because this is really giving me kind of a raccoon eye. I'm gonna take my foundation brush to try to fix it a little. I'm gonna go into the medium and try to go over some of these little spots and see if I can correct some of those since they didn't get covered with the foundation. And that did a nice job of that. I think the medium level is probably plenty. So as you can see, this is an interesting product and has a lot of great options involved, but it is not as user-friendly. It is a little tricky. I almost wish they had, instead of the sheer, maybe a corrector, and then maybe the medium, and then the opaque. A corrector shade would be really nice because I can see, I've gotten some coverage, but you can still see the darkness there, and a corrector, like a peach corrector, would have been really, really nice to put under my eye, and then go on with a very light amount of this. So I like this. It's a little trickier to work with. And I do like it for actually on the face, a lot better than I do for under the eye. I still don't feel like I've gotten as good of coverage, but I feel like there's a lot of product there, which is gonna bother me because it's gonna crease and it's gonna go right into those fine lines and age me some. So I'm so on this product. The next product is their Over Under Prime and Set Powder. I have the shade Light in this powder. They say this is kind of a 2-in-1. You can prep your face and prime your face. So we're gonna go ahead and use this for under the eyes right now and around the T-zone. This powder is nice. I haven't seen that I feel like it's anything totally unique, but it is a nice powder. It's very lightweight. It doesn't accentuate my fine lines or wrinkles. And I find that it does a nice job, and you can use it as a setting powder or as a finishing powder or to start off. We definitely need some bronze with this skin. It looks very dull to me right now. And I actually have two different bronzer products from Undone Beauty. The first is their water bronzer, and I have the shade Blast, which looks really dark here, but I'm gonna show you on my hand. It's actually very sheer, but it looks so dark in this tube, doesn't it? So I'm gonna really just use this for some contour today, and I'm gonna go in with this Morphe 2 brush and kind of just do some light contour for my face because I really am blanked out. This is a very nice formula. It's incredibly lightweight, and as you can see, not super pigmented. It is hydrating. It feels really nice on the face, cooling, but not overly pigmented. It gives a very sheer wash of color, but that's what it is formulated to do. The next product is the Warm Up 4-in-1 bronzer. And this, as you can see, is a huge pan of product. It has two matte shades of bronzer in deep to mid-warm brown, and then two non-sparkling shimmery shades in warm peach and sunny cream. This again is customizable to however you want to go into it. The only tricky part about products like this is trying to find the right brush to go into that product. So this is actually a BK Beauty 107 brush. It's a little smaller, and it helps me to just go into the bronzer if I don't want that shimmer, which I don't because we're gonna be using a highlighter. So I'm gonna kind of go into both of these shades a little bit. This is pretty pigmented. It does blend out nicely, but it's definitely pigmented. I know that they say these two shades are matte, but I always feel like I have a little bit of sheen after I put this on, regardless of if I go into those shimmery shades or not. So I feel like they're not totally matte. I like this bronzer. I don't love it. The tones of the bronzer are a little too orangey for me, but I can make it work. I think it's nice. It's a little tricky, again, getting the right product. And because I have another highlighter, we're not going to use these. I will tell you one of my favorite ways that I've used these though is as an eye palette. I've used this shade just all over the lid and then taken one of the shimmers and just patted it on the top. And that was probably my favorite way to use this palette. I like it as a bronzer. I think you can tell it's pretty, but it's not foolproof. You really have to work it into the skin. And like I said, just this whole format of doing the stripes is multi-purpose, but it does make it a little trickier to use. So I like this, but would I say run out and buy it? No. The next product is their Nonzer 4-in-1 highlighting palette. And I will show you what that looks like. It's very, very pretty. And in this, you have a rose quartz tone, you have a blush tone, a peachy gold tone, and a iridescent plum tone. So you have all different tones of highlight. And of course, you can just mix your brush in there if you want to as well. Again, a little trickier. You need a skinnier brush if you want to be specific about this. I'm going to go into the blush tone. I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't put my blush on yet, and I will be doing that. It is a cream product. We're going to see about putting it on top of this highlighter and see how that does. So this is the blush highlighter, and you can see this is very sparkly and pretty. I have been enjoying using this. It is potent. You can see that flash of color. It is very potent, but it is a nice highlighter. Very, very pretty. I have been really enjoying these two shades up here, but overall, I do like this. I think this is a very nice highlighting palette. The next product is their Lip to Cheek 3-in-1 cream palette. This is one of their most popular products. And basically, again, it's the same formula like the concealer where you have sheer, medium, and then opaque at the bottom. And it gives you all different possibilities for this cream product. So I have the shade Flare, which is a really pretty kind of a rose shade, but not too much. Again, you have to be careful with the brush. I'm going to go into just the medium section of this, put a little bit of this on the brush, and I'm just going to tap it kind of lightly a little bit over where I've done the highlight. So hopefully the highlight will kind of shine through the blush. But you can see this is a really pretty color, very easy to wear. And then a little on the nose. So I've really been enjoying this. This has been one of my very favorite products from Undone Beauty, and I do love the fact we are going to be putting it on the lips a little bit later, but I do like the fact that you can use it for both. Swatch it so you can see. But that's really the color. And then the medium, I'll put like right next to it, right here. So you can see this is much, much deeper than this. This is what I put on my cheeks just for a very, very light. I like that the best for the cheeks. Again, the sheer, I'll show you the sheer. It's right up here on the knuckle. It's pretty much the same as the medium, I feel like, in this formula. So you could kind of go into both of these for your blush and you'd be fine. But I like the opaque better for the lips. So now let's talk about some eye products since we've taken care of the complexion. The first one is their Flawlush Brow, and this has two different ends. The first end is a little spoolie with some brow gel, and I am in the shade Neutral Brown. And then the other side is a pen where you can kind of paint on the little strokes that you want. So again, this is Neutral Brown. I'm going to attempt this. I don't usually use these type of products, but oh, that's good. Okay, let's do this side. This is where I need a few more. Now let's go into the other end and go over that. I like the tone of this a lot. Very nice. I like that. That's definitely pigmented. It is very nice, and I like the multi-purpose action of this. This is a nice brow product. The next product is their 3-in-1 Creamy Eye Palette, and this is interesting. I have the shade Earthling. These are done in strips. So this shade in the middle is your main shade. That is your shadow. And then this is your highlight, which we're gonna use for the inner corner. And then this is your liner. I'm gonna use this BK Beauty 203 brush and go directly into the middle shade. And I'm gonna take that, pat it nicely all over the lid. This is a very pretty coppery shade. So that is that shade all over my lids. This is a Sigma E30, and I'm gonna go into the highlighting shade just at the top, and you don't need a lot. This is pretty potent, but I'm gonna do a little bit in the inner corner to brighten up in that inner corner. So that's really nice. Then I'm gonna take this BK Beauty 204 and go into the liner and just very lightly put some of that on the brush and just kind of lightly place that, almost pat it. It kind of gives you a smoky effect all along the lash line. And that is all there is to this eye look. Very interesting. My only comment on this would be I would prefer this shade to not be quite so black, but be more of a brown, more of like a chocolate brown, but these other two shades are really nice. Okay, I've already curled my lashes, and now we're going to apply the Undone Beauty Indie Lash Mascara. So this has a very interesting wand. Here is the wand, and they're very proud of this wand. I think it has like a patent forming on it. It is a 4-way brush that cleanly separates and builds the lash and the lash volume from the root to the tip. So we're gonna go ahead and let me bring you in so you can see. So that's one coat. I'm gonna go in and build a little bit. I did curl my lashes, and my curl is starting to really flop, so it's not holding my curl very well. I think it does a pretty good job. I like this, I like the wand, but it's reminding me of the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk and also the Ilia Beauty that has kind of a comb. The lashes are separated. I would like a little bit more length instead of maybe so much volume, and I wish it wasn't dragging my curl down. For lips, I'm gonna go back to my lip to cheek palette. I'm gonna go into the opaque section. It's very pretty, it's easy, it's creamy, feels very nice on the lips. And then I'm going to top with their Undone Beauty Gloss. This is their big Poppa Gloss, and they talk quite a bit about how big this doe foot applicator is. I'm just gonna kind of tap this on. This gloss is great. It has like a watermelon flavor to it. I have the shade Watercolor Rose. It really is pretty sheer. I'll show you on my hand. There's not much color to it. just a hint of pink. It looks really pretty over top this Flare Lip to Cheek palette. This formula is a combination between a gloss and a lip oil. Very comfortable feeling. I'm gonna come right back and give you my final thoughts on all of the Undone Beauty products. Okay, so I've really enjoyed learning about this company, Undone Beauty, and I'm looking forward to trying more and more of their products. Just to give you a quick recap, I'm gonna kind of just touch on what I think are the best and what I think are the worst that I wouldn't get. I really like this foundation. I think it's very nice. Most of the lighter foundations are very glowy, and so if you are looking for something to help control your oil a little bit more, this would be a great one to try. I haven't tried the glowy version of this, but I'd like to. I think that would be interesting. It's very lightweight and it feels great on the skin. Very nice. I also like the powder quite a bit, but I don't necessarily know that it's anything that unique, but it's very nice. I would not recommend the concealer. I'm just not a big fan of this formula. It's nice for on the face, but I can already show you where I did use this, it lifted up very, very quickly. The staying power is not good, and I think it's just almost too oily or greasy. There's too much of that moisture in it so that it easily just slides off the skin the minute you touch it. I'm sure if I put some of that on and just didn't go near it, it would be fine. But the minute you touch your face, the minute that you put a brush on or add a new product, you're gonna lift that up. So this was really not my favorite product, and it's creased all up underneath my eye. And I wouldn't recommend this concealer. The two bronzers are interesting. Again, this is not my favorite bronzer. My favorite use for this palette is as an eye palette. I think that's really nice. The colors are just a little too orangey for me, but I really do appreciate these colors, especially on the eyes. This water bronzer, I want to play more with. Of course, it is just so sheer that you really have to build that up, but I like the feel. I like the feel of it, and I like how easy it is to use and to sheer out. I would like to play around with this a little bit more and try one of the water blushes and the water highlighter also, just to see how they all work together. This highlighter is very interesting and very pretty. As you can see, it is pretty. It is a blinding highlight, so I appreciated using it by putting the blush on top instead of having the highlight be on top, and I think that muted a little bit of the gleam. If you just want a healthy glow, then that would be how I would recommend applying it. But I do like this. It's very nice, and to have the different shades is nice as well. This is one of my favorite products. They have several shades. You just cannot go wrong with a good cream blush, and then of course being able to use it as a lip product as well. This is a perfect travel product. I love the formula of this cream blush. It lasts and it doesn't lift up product, which is nice. I really enjoy this, and I'm looking forward to trying a couple of other shades in this formula. This eye product I think is good, not great. I like the shades, but I do think this is just a little too dark for me. I would like a little bit more of a muted liner, but all in all, I think this is an interesting product. It is still almost still wet. It doesn't set down as well as some other cream eyeshadow products, which I wonder more about transfer, and if you were really sweaty, I don't know that this would be the best product for you. But I love the convenience, and I like having all these 3 different shades all in one. The brow product I really like. I think the color is nice. It's very hard for me sometimes to find the right shade of brown, and this is called neutral brown, and I really like that. So if you have eyebrows similar to mine, you might really like this. And I like having the 2 different formulas of the felt tip and then of course the little spoolie with the brow gel. Very nice. I will enjoy using this quite a bit. The mascara is good, not great. I would like a little bit more of a lift, and it did take my curl down. That's the only, that's my biggest complaint, but I do like the brush, and it's a very natural looking mascara look. Finally, the lip gloss is very nice. I am definitely going to purchase a couple more shades of this. The feel of it is great. The smell is not overpowering, but it's very nice, like a watermelon type smell. I'd like a darker shade that is more opaque. I highly recommend picking this up. So my top 3 products for you to check out from Undone Beauty would be the Lip to Cheek palette. So good. Love this formula. The gloss, which is so great. The big Poppa Gloss. Love this formula. And the foundation. I really love the feel of this, the look. It's very hydrating, and yet it is that soft matte. I'm enjoying this quite a bit. These are my top 3. I hope this video was helpful, and if you enjoyed this content, please give it a thumbs up. I hope that you have subscribed, and if you haven't, please come join us here. We're having a whole lot of fun. I would also love for you to join me over on Instagram. It's KZ Beauty Coach. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.